I'm here because I have to make it to 85 to go to my grandson's high school graduation.
All
I intend to be.
I'm Sue McDermott, and I'm here to improve my health. For health reasons, I love the diet. When all my friends in high school were having blondies and brownies, I actually went to the grocery store and brought home vegetables. I've loved them all my life. And I intend to accompany him to his grandson's graduation. Our children got started very late, so we have very young grandchildren for our age. Good and
You're
safe.
going to be there. I love that goal.
Well, we have 3-year-old grandchildren, 2-year-old.
All right.
So we're gonna have to really.
I'll put a plug in for Ann. So both Ann and Essie, they don't take any medication, which is almost unheard of for people in their 80s. So just a little plug for not just living a life, but living a vibrant life where you're active.
I'm Dave Trowell. I'm from Centerville, Ohio, which is a suburb of Dayton. And I've always, I think, had a fairly healthy diet. But I've had 2 heart attacks, a pacemaker, and on our way back from Florida, we stopped at Phyllis's brother's in Georgia. And he needed triple bypass surgery when he was 44. And decided not to do it. He was going to do it with exercise and diet. And he's still here at 70, riding a bike. So I thought, I don't have anything to lose. But everything I eat turning out raw for me. So I've been on this diet for about 3 months now.
Nice. Awesome.
And I'm the cook. But my brother is the one that put us onto it, and he has actually interacted with Dr. Esselstyn and with the China study and the Forks Over Knives. So when we were with them in April, we were eating that diet because we were with them, and decided, well, we could deal with this. Well, then he had a heart incident soon after we got back, and it just reinforced let's really learn about this diet and
Well, I'm so impressed with your brother-in-law, is in Georgia doing this.
Oh, well,
That is serious.
He started with Ornish, because
Yeah,
Ornish
yeah.
was way back
Yeah,
in the
yeah. Oh,
80s.
yeah.
And then we got on to, through everything he was doing, Colin Campbell and Dr. Esselstyn, and he, so he put us onto the 2 books, the Prevent and the China study, so that we could get a background as to why we're doing this.
Great.
That's awesome.
My name is Krista McNamee. I'm from Cleveland, Ohio. And I'm here because I need to connect with other plant-based people for a lot of reasons. Family history of heart disease and cancer. My husband is in this situation where he's pre-everything. He's yeah, he's been on the SAD diet to the nth degree. Okay, so I want to be able to live the lifestyle, so hopefully he'll gradually realize it and just come into it and say, I got to change, clean up my attitude. I want to make that transition easier for him and for myself too. So, many reasons.
Well, I want to just point out Rob actually to you. Rob, I don't know if you and Chris, but he is part of a great movement here in Cleveland, not the Cavaliers. He looks to be Kirby up there with LeBron. But Plant-Based CLE, Plant-Based Cleveland, is this huge, growing plant-based community. And
We have over 600 members on a Facebook discussion group, and then we meet once a month, and in fact are meeting on Tuesday in the Miller Nature Innovation in Avon.
Avon.
In Avon. This Tuesday
Avon,
night
which is the
at
west side
6:30.
of Cleveland.
There is a Engine 2 7-day immersion discussion challenge starting at 6:30, and then the Plant-Based Cleveland monthly meeting starts at 7.
So connect with him about that. If you're a Clevelander or Daytoner, good luck.
And then I'm interested for personal health reasons, but also involved in education. I'm associate dean in the Honors College at the University of Toledo. I also associate professor of medicinal chemistry and a background in chemistry and microbiology.
Ooh, so we can go to you when we're talking endothelial
Questions to
cells.
Steve today
Yeah,
about
well-
that stuff.
Well, tell them what
So-
you've just given your.
Yeah, actually, so
students.
right now I'm teaching a course in medicinal poisonous plants. I have like 41 pharmacy students. And we've been doing a whole gamut of things, but I've actually, this type of material is part of one of their workshop assignments for this week. So we went to the conference in March here.
Oh, great.
So I decided to look up some of the mechanisms behind it and look up a lot of the original papers that are currently, there's a lot of current literature from 2015, 2016 that's very supportive of what you're talking about. Because you know the outcomes are good.
Yeah.
And you're looking and trying to justify what the mechanisms are, and there's a lot of new information coming out. So I'm actually having the students looking at that, and they have to analyze some of the basic primary literature papers, and then write a little paper on it. So,
Brilliant.
That's great.
Yeah.
I mean, coming to this plant-based idea from academics, from health, from nutrition, from the globe, from economics, everybody, ethical reasons, it just seems to be such a interesting answer.
yeah,
I
no,
love that you're having it in academics.
His
Love it.
father was in the friendly.
oh yeah, I'm one of the first
Oh, that's-
people
you're the
in
one.
Park studying this.
It's
So,
one of the oldest heart studies out. You guys probably
yes,
don't know
so,
that.
yeah, my dad was 40, so 1967, I grew up in Framingham, Massachusetts. And so at the age of 40, I was 12, so at that time my dad had a heart attack. So they gave him 3 months to live, but they also, at that time, the drug Indorel came out, it's a beta blocker. So he ended up living an extra 12 years, but we also changed our whole diet at that time. So we were at that time, of course, they didn't know about trans fatty acids, but we got rid of,
Like margarine, right?
yeah, so, yeah, so we had margarine, we went, the big change then was going to skim milk from whole
Yeah,
milk.
yeah.
Yeah.
Cutting out any kind of fats and stuff. And actually, I have trouble now with sugar, but why not to grind up all your fruits and vegetables? I mean, all your fruits, the sugar content is a well, chewing things is quite well made. But in the end, my dad probably had familial cholesterol, but that's something that never happened, perhaps because of the diet. Technically, we can genetically choose.
So we'll direct all our biochemical questions to you. That's great. That's great. Yeah.
Nice.
That's what I do.
My name is Joyce. I'm from Westlake, Ohio. My entire life I've been sick. In fact, I was born with 103 fever. I've had lupus. And I lost basically my 20s and 30s in the hospital constantly, chemo, infusions, and daily seizures, multiple seizures a day, and was looking at disability, which was something I couldn't really handle. And this amazing man next to me, he was exploring this for other personal reasons with his family, and kept saying, maybe this will work, maybe this will work. And of course I couldn't hear anything because everything I'd ever tried failed, which led to more disappointment. And the progression of my disease was rather rampant at that time. And I cried to my doctor saying I would do anything, and then I went home and listened to myself tell him no. And I said, I'm a hypocrite if I ever say that again, or I try this. What's the worst that's gonna happen? So I had another infusion, talked to a bunch of people about nutrition, and they were like, you're doing so great, you're doing so great. I had done Mediterranean for a year and my medications were working, meaning I could still get up and go to work, but my seizures were getting worse. So without telling him, because I didn't want him to say, I told you so,
I hate that. when
I
you're
started
right.
trying it while he was out of town. Didn't tell him. And because I thought if I failed, I didn't want him to feel the disappointment either. And in 3 days at work, people were asking what had happened. My seizures had stopped. And I did one more infusion the next month, and it dropped me to my knees. My baseline had changed so much. I was already off 50% of my other medications by the time I did my next infusion 1 month later. Here I am, a little bit over 3 years later, almost 3.5 years later, over 90% of my meds off, no chemo, no infusions, working my butt off to get the rest of the medications out. I'm in my 40s now, trying to regain everything I lost in my 20s and my 30s. I have a whole new life. I've been able to help all these other patients. I do a ton of work with the Lupus Foundation, but they won't embrace this because they're not allowed to endorse a diet. I'm like, endorse nutrition, just please. You know, I've gone to DC about a couple times talking to Congress about medication research. I'm not allowed to talk about nutrition. I've gone to the state capitol to do insurance reform. All these things are passing. I'm not allowed to talk about nutrition. I, like her, wanted to be in a room full of people that are allowed to talk about nutrition because I want to learn more. I want to do more. If I've been able to help patients so far with what little I know, my feeling is I want to learn so much more because I really want other people to get a second chance at life like I have had. I can't believe the gift I've been given by this. It's actually because of her father that this information filtered into this man. And I'm so blessed, so grateful, and I don't want to take this gift for granted. I want to pay it forward, and I'm going to do everything I can to get this
Joyce,
out
can you
there.
explain what lupus is for people who might not know? I mean, some of us probably do know, but just quickly, was it just a quick?
No, and that's fair, because I'm the top fundraiser for Ohio for the last 5 years. I do a lot of education on this, and it's an autoimmune disease. People have heard of lupus sometimes, but they really don't understand what it is. Basically, the body attacks itself. It cannot differentiate its own tissue from foreign bodies. So when your immune system knows that you've encountered some sort of illness, some foreign invader, it knows it's supposed to attack it. The only problem is it gets really confused and it doesn't attack the foreign invader, it attacks itself. It can attack every organ. So I've had my kidneys, my heart, my lungs have all been damaged because of it, because it's attacking those instead of the foreign invader. It can attack your skin, your joints. I have major cartilage issues. It can do your entire vascular system. I have vasculitis. Central nervous system, which would be the seizures I mentioned, horrific neuropathy, some permanent damage. It can attack bones. I had my jaw disintegrated, had to have a rib into my, rebuilt a jaw, and had to learn how to speak and eat again.
This one was a miracle on ice right here. We can hear about lupus all day, but I wanted to say quickly, the reason I wanted to explain what it was basically, and we'll hear more about this, is that autoimmune diseases are this civil war in your body, and lupus is one name of it. MS is another name for the autoimmune disease, and there are other rheumatoid arthritis, Crohn's disease, and some research is pointing to type 1 diabetes that you get when you're really young because you had this little civil war happen. Some research is pointing, it's so hard to nail it down, it's pointing to it being the introduction of milk into a cow's milk. So I wanted you to talk about autoimmune disease, because you need to have your own workshop, okay?
I will one day, I will.
You will.
I will.
The man of the hour.
Yeah. Well, it's hard to follow up on that. My name's Scott Healy. I'm on the west side. In fact, I'm right on the corner from the Miller Nature
Okay.
Reserve. It's beautiful.
We'll see you on Tuesday.
Okay, I hope so. But I started looking into this. I had a gentleman I worked with, and he was started talking about this a little over 4 years ago. And at first, I thought this guy's out of his mind. And then he goes, "No, you need to look at the documentary Fork Over Knives." And so I watched it, and I'm going, this is making a lot of sense. So I started researching a lot more into it, reading about it, and so I started dabbling a little and started slowly eating more of the vegetables and getting off all the meat and the dairy products. And I noticed, although I try to stay in shape, every year my weight was creeping up. I've got high cardiovascular disease in my family. I've already had 2 brothers pass away, and my dad had a quadruple bypass. So through the time, I noticed my weight started dropping. I had my blood checked, my cholesterol dropped significantly, blood pressure, all that just started dropping. And so it's been about just in 4 years. It'll be October 4 years that I went full plant-based, and felt great ever since. So I was trying to tell Joyce about it a little bit, and she was, where do you get your protein from, this and that. So we know that.
Yeah, that's always the question.
What's amazing is what I found, though, is I work with a lot of people, and the resistance people have to this is just, I've come to the conclusion that we are, we're addicted to this Western-based diet, and it's really hard for people to accept that there might be an alternative and we were not built to eat the meat. So
We'll talk about that this afternoon. There's
Yeah.
a whole session on that.
so that's so it's been 4 years. So ever since then, I mean, I never go back. In fact, this is something I've always found. I don't know if other people have been on this for a long time, but it really threw me for a loop. Is when I walk into a room now, and if somebody's cooking meat, I actually get nauseous. And that to me told me a lot. And I told people that story. It's like you won't get that if somebody's cooking vegetables, this and that. But when I walk in and they're actually cooking meat, I actually get sick. So that was kind of an interesting side. But yeah, that's it.
All right.